Chapter 6. A Runaway Bulldozer. To Jack's relief, instead of snapping, the church drain pipe bent down slowly under the weight of the old man. Eventually, it placed him safely on the ground. As soon as his slippers touched the wet grass to the graveyard, Grandpa marched over to the assembled group and gave them a salute. "Fall out, men." Mum looked more than a little offended. "Wing Commander," said the boy, "please let me escort you to your car. We'll drive you back to your quarters shortly." "Jolly good show, old boy," replied Grandpa. Jack took him by the arm and led him to the family's rusty old car. As he opened the door, the handle came clean off. He put his grandfather safely in the back seat and closed the door once more so that the old man could get warm on this chilly winter night. As he ran back across the graveyard, Jack heard Reverend Hogg saying to his parents, "That man isn't all there. He needs to be locked up." "He is fine, thank you very much," said Jack, jumping in on the conversation. The vicar looked down at the boy and smiled, baring his teeth like a shark before it takes a bite. Jack watched as a thought seemed to cross the man's mind. Suddenly the vicar's tone of voice completely changed. "Mr. and Mrs. he began again, now sounding kind and caring. "Bunting," replied Mum and Dad at the same time. "Mr. and Mrs. Bunting. In my many years as vicar I have brought a great deal of comfort to the old folk of this parish, and I would love to help your elderly relative." "Oh, would you?" said Mum, immediately charmed by this slippery fish. "Yes, Mrs. Bunting. In fact, I know an absolutely smashing place you could be sent to. It recently opened after the previous old folks' home was accidentally demolished by a runaway bulldozer." Out of the corner of his eye, Jack caught the gravedigger smirking at this. The boy couldn't put a finger on it exactly, but he felt like something was very wrong here. "Yes, we read about that in the local paper," replied Dad. "A runaway bulldozer. Who would have thought it?" "The good Lord moves in mysterious ways," replied Reverend Hogg. "You know what, Mr. Vicar," continued Mum, "I've been saying it to these two until I've gone blue in the face, and Jill at the cheese counter agrees." "So you work at the cheese counter?" inquired Reverend Hogg. "I thought I could smell Stilton." "Yes," replied Mum, "one of our speciality cheeses. It's such a beautiful aroma, isn't it, Mr. Vicar? Like perfume, really." Dad rolled his eyes. "Anyway, so Jill is of the same mind," continued Mum again. "An old folks' home would be the best place for him." Jack looked at his father and shook his head vigorously, but the man pretended not to notice his son. "It's a nice place." "Is it a nice place?" asked Dad. "Mr. Bunting, I wouldn't be recommending it if it wasn't," purred the vicar. "It's better than nice. It's like Disneyland for old people. The only problem is, it's so popular." "Is it?" asked Dad, now completely sucked in by the man's patter. "Yes, it's very hard to get a place," said the Reverend Hogg. "Well, that's settled then," said Jack. "He can't go anyway." The vicar continued, without pausing for breath. "Fortunately, I know the matron who runs the place rather well. Lovely woman, Miss Swine, and rather attractive. I'm sure you will agree when you meet her. If you wanted, I could ask her if your dear old grandpa could jump the queue." "That's very kind of you, Mr. Vicar," said Mum. "What's the place called?" asked Dad. "Twilight Towers," replied Reverend Hogg. "It's not far from here, just on the edge of the moors. I could call Miss Swine now and ask one of my boys here to run him up there tonight if you like." The vicar indicated his burly gang of gravediggers. "That would save us the bother," agreed Mum. "No," protested Jack. Dad tried to steer the family towards a middle ground. "Well, thank you so much, Vicar. We'll have a think about it." "No, we won't," protested Jack. "My grandpa's never going into a home. Never." With that, Dad started ushering his wife and son towards the car, where Grandpa had been waiting patiently. But as Jack was trailing behind and just out of earshot of his parents, the vicar turned to him and hissed, "We'll see about that, young man."